I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Engines purred, tires screeched, and races were close as cars sped around the track. Jill Andrews has the details on this high-octane hobby in this report.
Radio-controlled car drivers are living life in the fast lane at the Washtenaw County RC Raceway.
Today we're having our end-of-season fun run for RC car racing. It's all sorts of classes of RC cars. Some is more competitive than others.
It's social and it's competitive, but it's for fun. And I'd compare it to a lot of guys go to bowling leagues or softball leagues and that kind of thing. Well, we just race cars, so we get together here every other Saturday during the winter season. And it's not just the racing, it's the social aspect of it. We share tips and tricks with our cars and a reason to get together and hang out, and we have some fun racing the cars while we're here too.
Some racers are born to drive, while others just enjoy the ride.
One great part of this program here at the Washtenaw Farm Council grounds is really associated with new people coming in. A lot of the more experienced drivers will come and help novice racers that come here for the first time.
You're racing against the guys that are on the track with you, but you're also racing against the track. So you've got the jumps, the obstacles, the conditions change. Sometimes the track's drier or wetter, so we're constantly changing our cars to try and meet what the track is doing, and changing tires, changing setup. So a lot of the racing happens before you even get on the track. There's the setup that goes into it that can have a huge effect on how well you do when you actually get out there on the track. It can be intimidating for somebody who's new, but what's great about this place is they have classes for beginners. The people are super nice and will help you out. Nobody turns away a beginner or is afraid to offer them a hand when they need it.
I really enjoy the camaraderie of friends. We have a lot of people that really are great to talk to. The competition is good. I like it a lot. When we have close races, it makes it even more fun. You get a lot of adrenaline from doing this.
For more info on pricing and next season's races, visit mscsrc.org. Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. April Fools is a no-pressure holiday where goofiness comes into play. Here in Ann Arbor, we know how to commemorate the beginning of April during full moon and festive fools. Find out how some people are foolishly prepared for the festivities. Fashion comes in many forms, but when you're choosing an ensemble centered on silliness, the Fools from Found and Wonderful Productions may be your inspiration.
This year decided that we would do a little event where we could come up with some creative, easy-to-make costumes that people could wear for this April event in downtown Ann Arbor. So we've gathered together a bunch of materials and some of the people from Wonderful Productions to help us come up with some just fun and easy costumes.
So whether that's mixing plaids with polka dots or making a big sculpture, mobile sculpture, we want people to participate in any way, and we think fashion is a good base level for people to be foolish.
Found was the ideal locale to create fashion from everyday materials.
We have things that are made from a whole variety of materials that have been repurposed in different ways. So this is like an ultimate repurposing.
We have kind of a new call to action to people, which is make something out of the ordinary. So taking ordinary objects and turning it into something extraordinary.
Don't miss your last chance to create foolish fashion at Found, located in the Carytown district from 5 p.m. to dusk on April 6th. For more on the frivolous fun at full moon, visit wonderfulproductions.org. Our wheels are rolling into pothole season, and the city has a quick and easy service available to report potholes and plenty of other issues that may arise throughout Ann Arbor. Learn more about A2 Fix It in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hello, my name is Robert Keller with the City of Ann Arbor, here to tell you a quick and easy way to report problems to the city that you need to get fixed. Problems like potholes, streetlight outages, or snow or ice on sidewalks or streets. It's called A2 Fix It. A2 Fix It is a tool you can access online. Just simply go to a2gov.org/A2Fixit or download the app for your smartphone. Now keep in mind, A2 Fix It isn't for everything. A2 Fix It isn't for emergencies, crime issues, or flooding or water problems. But for practically everything else, A2 Fix It is your best and easy way to let us know you need something fixed.
Dance Marathon at the University of Michigan is changing the lives of children and their caregivers by raising funds and awareness for rehabilitation therapies at CS Mott and Beaumont's Children's Hospitals. Every year, the organization raises the majority of their monies during Victorthon, a 24-hour fundraising event where the right shoes make all the difference. Joining me is Brett Graham, Public Relations Chair for Dance Marathon. Welcome to the show, Brett.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you kind of explain, I gave a little bit of an overview of what Dance Marathon is, but if you could just delve in a little bit deeper and tell us what Dance Marathon is all about.
Sure, yeah. So Dance Marathons started in the 1990s and kind of have been sweeping the nation ever since. Our Dance Marathon at the University of Michigan benefits, as you said, rehabilitation programs at those two hospitals. And throughout the year, we get to interact with the families that kind of benefit from our fundraising and our awareness. We have great events with them, and our body of dancers, a couple hundred dancers every year, get to really see where their work is going and what it's going towards. And then at the end of it, we have this huge celebration, a 24-hour celebration called Victorthon. We will be standing up on March 24th at 1 p.m. and we won't be sitting down until the following day, Sunday at 1 p.m.
You've been a part of Dance Marathon your entire college career. Why don't you tell us a little bit something why you feel like Dance Marathon's special and people should support it from your own perspective?
Absolutely. I mean, so I was a dancer my freshman year. I kind of joined it on a whim. I didn't really necessarily know what it was, but I had some friends doing it and I figured why not. And I just remember collapsing into bed at the end of it, exhausted but so happy that I had done it. And I will say my team when I was a freshman was paired with a family. I got very close with them. We had bonding events with them. One of my favorite events from the year is something called pumpkin carving that we do in October. Where all the kids come and they dress up, and we dress up, and we help them carve pumpkins and have activities. And every year since, I've had a relationship with that family, and I see them. The kids are excited to see me. It's a great way as a college student to kind of remind yourself that there are bigger things than exams and deadlines and your social life and things like that.
Have you seen personally the lives of these children change over the last 4 years? Because we talk about giving the money to the children's hospitals to benefit rehabilitation programs, but have you seen this in action?
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the cool parts of the organization is you're not just raising money and interacting with the kids, we also give you opportunities to volunteer at those therapies. So one of the most amazing experiences for me this past year was I went to our tree climbing therapy, which happened, I think it was over in Saline, and it's amazing. I mean, kids who get around with the use of a wheelchair or have other kind of, mobile impairments, using harnesses and different kinds of equipment, they can climb trees and we encourage them to just be kids. And
they're doing something they probably thought they'd never be able to do.
Absolutely. And my favorite part of that is the parents on the ground watching their kids go up in the tree. They're so excited to see it as well. So that's what our organization is about, just encouraging these kids to be kids, have fun, and hopefully lead an empowering and fun life.
All right, well, let's talk about Victorthon. That's like the big fundraiser for Dance Marathon. And how important is it to raise this money at Victorthon?
Well, a lot of our fundraising does come in event at Victorthon. As I said, we fundraise throughout the year, but we do try to keep the ball rolling in event. And it's important for us also because it's our big celebration. It's how people are aware that we've been doing work all year. So a lot of campus ends up coming down. Students and even just local people around Ann Arbor come in. There are going to be great performances and a lot to do.
So the public is invited. Do they have to buy tickets? How does that work?
It's open to the public, so you can come whenever you'd like. Although overnight, probably not the best time to come. But we do have visiting hours. Please, if you have somebody that you know in Dance Marathon, please come and support them. There's a suggested donation at the door, but we're not gonna force you into anything. And even if you don't have some friends in Dance Marathon, come and make some friends because we're very nice people. It's a great 24 hours. It's a lot of the phrase that you'll hear a lot on leadership in Dance Marathon is that it's the best 24 hours of the year.
Nice. So when you talk about the different things that are happening, obviously there's dancing going on. Did you have a dance background going into this, or it's just like, is it a choreography sort of thing? How does the dancing aspect work?
Yeah, so this is a question we get a lot when we're recruiting. You do not have to be a good dancer to dance for 24 hours. It's not that's not necessarily a requirement. I like to dance, but basically it's just when you're standing for 24 hours, it's easiest if you shift your weight around. That's kind of the way that you get through it.
Yeah.
There is a very little bit of choreographed dance during Victorthon. We teach our dancers something called the line dance, which we choreograph throughout the year. Excuse me. We select some songs and we clip them together, chain them together, come up with this fun little dance, and then we teach it to everybody in little pieces throughout the day. And part of our closing ceremonies is that we'll have the full dance showcased. So you can come and do whatever. You can be dancing in the middle of it, and nobody will look at you strange. That's why we're here.
You don't have to be a good dancer.
Oh, not at all. And a lot of us aren't.
So what happens if you sit? Does a big hook come and drag you out of there?
We don't have that. We don't have that. I mean, we do. I'll tell you that I've been to Victorthon, before, and I actually haven't seen people do that because it is, we do focus on wellness. We focus on, encouraging people. If you really do physically, nobody's gonna force you. Nobody's gonna bring a hook. But I mean, I remember I was on leadership as a sophomore, and I was running around doing a lot of things. And one of the moments that's really stayed with me is somebody who was above me on leadership, our operations director, came to me and he said, "When's the last time you had something to eat?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, maybe 2 hours." And he said, "Okay, I have a very important job for you." And he took me into some room or something like that, and he handed me a banana, and he said, "You're not allowed to move until you get some potassium in you, because you have to keep going. Like you got this. You got to keep going, but you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself."
So you guys support each other.
Absolutely, we're very much about doing it in a very healthy and responsible way.
And you get to meet some of the families too that are impacted by Dance Marathon while you're at Victorthon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we have, we don't just get to meet them, we get to hear some of their stories, and we get to showcase them. So one of my favorite parts about Dance Marathon, and something that we are continuing this year, is that we have our DMUM kids have a little talent show where they'll go on stage and they'll have hundreds of college students trained in on the stage and cheering them on the entire way. It's a very emotional and very exciting time for them.
Wow, that sounds awesome. If you wanted to mention any other activities that people might want to go and see while the Dance Marathon's going on, the Victorthon.
Sure, yeah. So throughout the day, to keep our dancers and our visitors entertained, we'll have student groups performing. So we're very fortunate to have such a rich body of student groups at the University of Michigan, and a lot of them come down and volunteer their time and do dance performances, singing, lots of other things, which all of that's so exciting and helps pass the time. And then another thing that I like to mention is in the middle of it, at 1 a.m., we have our Victorthon Rave, which is a great way of getting some people up on campus to come down, dance around, party with us. And I'll tell you, after standing for 12 hours, it really does wake you up.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So we're just about out of time, but if you want to tell people why they should support Dance Marathon or go to Victorthon.
Sure, yeah. Well, I will say something that I think is really unique about our organization, even in comparison to other dance marathons, is pediatric rehabilitation therapies are so broad. You know, there are so many different reasons why children and families can take advantage of those services. So we really get to see a lot of different experiences and really empower these kids. It makes such a difference. And the way that we operate, even the smallest donation, $3, $5, those are the kinds of donations that allow a kid to go to bowling therapy or yoga therapy or martial arts therapy. And I mean, I guess maybe you have to see it to believe it, so come down to Victorthon. Come see these smiles on the kids' faces, because it really does make a difference.
All right, well, thank you so much, Brett.
Thank you for having me.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.